Good morning class. Today I will teach basic thermodynamics, that is your first module in thermal engineering. This one is the introduction part. So first I will tell you what is thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is the branch of science which deals with energy transfer and its effects on properties, that is physical and chemical, of the substances, and the amount of heat transfer or work transfer taking place while arriving at one state to the another state is the main concern in the thermodynamics. So in thermodynamics, heat transfer or work transfer simultaneously takes place. In thermodynamics, the first is the system and the surrounding. We have to know what is system and the surrounding, because we have to see know what is the thermodynamic system and its surrounding, and its also boundary. System, it is a fixed mass or region in a space or control volume where our study is focused, and surrounding, it is that everything external to the system is the surrounding, and the part of the surrounding which is affected by the system is known as immediate surrounding. Similarly, there are three types of thermodynamic system. First is the closed system, open system, and isolated system. In closed system, it is a type of system in which only energy interaction and no mass interaction takes place. For example, piston cylinder arrangement without valves. In open system, it is a type of system in which both energy and mass interaction takes place. That is piston cylinder arrangement with valves. In isolated system, it is a type of system neither energy nor mass interaction takes place. That is hot coffee or tea kept in a well-insulated thermoflask or universe. After this, these three types of thermodynamics will know about what is boundary. There are two types of boundary, that is real boundary and imaginary boundary. There is another system is there that we call it as adiabatic system, where no energy transfer or no heat transfer takes place. After that, sorry for interruption. After that, now what is boundary? This one is the basic part of the thermodynamic system. We have to know what is real boundary and what is imaginary boundary. So boundary, it can be real or imaginary, that separates the system from the surrounding, or it can be fixed or movable. Here, for example, taken as this one is the piston, and inside this one is the cylinder, and this one is the piston, and this piston is movable, and the gas inside is fixed one, means its volume is fixed. So here we can say that this one is the control volume inside, and this one is known as the control surface. Similarly, this one is the shaft. You can see that here, this one is the imaginary boundary where the system can takes place, or work transfer or heat transfer takes place, and this one is the real boundary where it separates the system from the surrounding, and inside the real boundary we can see that this one is the control volume. After then, next part is you can see that what is properties. Any characteristic of the system is known as the property of the system. Means if we want to know what is the property of the system, means that is it tells us about the characteristic of the system. Means what are the characteristic of the system? That is, there are two types of properties. First is the intrinsic properties, another one is the extrinsic properties. In intrinsic property, you can see that the first one is In, so you can see that which are independent of the mass of the system. For example, that is density, temperature, pressure. Density rho, temperature T, and pressure P. Similarly, extrinsic properties, that is Ex, which are dependent on the mass of the system. We can say that, for example, volume, enthalpy, entropy, kinetic energy, potential energy. Even if you know that all the specific properties which are intrinsic properties, for example, this volume, if we add the if you add before specific word, then you can known as a specific volume, specific enthalpy and specific entropy, that also are known as the internship properties. Here you can see that here mass and volume, this can be divided, means this can be dependent on the mass of the system, that is m by 2 m by 2, v by 2 v by 2. But internship properties which are independent of the mass of the system, that they cannot be divided, means the first part temperature, second part is also temperature, pressure is also here same, pressure is also here same, here density rho, here also density rho. So the part which cannot be divided, that known is internship properties, and the property that which can be divided and can add it as a whole total, that is m by 2 plus m by 2, you can take it as m, and v by 2 plus v by 2 you can take it as v, which is known as extensive properties. Then the next part is the next part. Here are the some of the properties of the system, that they are the point function, they are exactly differential, they are independent of the past history. The point function means in any state you can say that the state has a pressure, has its properties of temperature, has the properties of volume. On that state one, you can say that that when it has the specific volume, specific enthalpy and specific entropy. Similar in state 2, another state P2, V2 and T2, that is pressure on that another state, temperature on that state and volume on that state. Similarly P1, P2, T1, T2, V1 and V2, they are also exactly differential and they are independent of the past history. For the basic part of the thermodynamics, you have to know that what is state. Any condition which tells about the system is known as the state of the system. If that state changes, means one state to another state it changes, then we call it as process. If this process in infinite states, having the infinite state through which the system passes while going from initial state to final state, is known as process path. If that change of state, if it is passes from initial state to the final state, then you can call it as path. So you can easily say that what is the difference between the process and what is the difference between the path. Even you can say that what is the difference between the state and what is the difference between the state and process. The next part is, so you can clearly memorize that what is the state. Any condition which says about the thermodynamic system is known as state of the system, and any changes in the state, means if the state is changing from one state to another state, then we call it as process. For example, then evaporation, condensation, sublimation process, that also you can call it as process, because it is changes from liquid to vapor or vapor to liquid. That's the changing of states takes place. So you can say that it is also a part of a process. If that process is continuously starting from initial state to the final state, we can say that it is a process path, or you can say it is call it as a cycle also. But there is difference between thermodynamic cycle and thermodynamic process also. I will tell you later. Now the next part is quasi-static process or non-quasi-static process. In quasi-static process, it is that kind of process that occurs infinitely slow, and it is represented by the jointed lines on the property diagram. Similarly, non-quasi-static process, it is that kind of process that does not occurs infinitely slow, but it can be represented by the dashed lines on the property diagram. First of all, the quasi-static process is that, suppose we will take 1000 kg of weight. If we put in the put weight on the piston, they will gradually you will see that the piston will move downward. If we will simultaneously decrease one by one weight, that is 1000 kg weight, then next triple 9 kg weight, then 998, you can see that the piston gradually move upward. That process, that kind of process which occurs infinitely very slow, we can say that that one is known as quasi-static process. The next part is the very important, that is reversible process or irreversible process. Irreversible process, it is that kind of process which can be reversed in direction following the same path without leaving any effect on the system and surrounding. You can see that any reversible process, it must be depend on the system and the surrounding, but the direction can be reversed, which is having the same path, and it will not leave any effect on the system as well as surrounding. Similarly, irreversible, that we can simply say it's that kind of process which cannot be reversible. It's so easy that you can easily memorize that what is reversible process and what is irreversible process. So reversible process is that can be reversed in direction following the same path without leaving any effect on the system and the surrounding. And irreversible, it is that kind of process which cannot be reversible. Okay, the next is the next one is the all quasi-static process are not reversible, but a reversible process is always a quasi-static, and quasi-static compression and expansion of a gas is a reversible process. That quasi-static compression expansion I will tell in the part of the turbine part, and compression that I will tell you in the compression or in the refrigeration part. Okay, the next part is the microscopic and microscopy, and you can see the spelling over that, MA micro and here MI is micro. In macroscopic analysis, in this analysis you can see the average molecular behavior is taken into consideration, and this approach is valid till the concept of continuum holds the good. Here if you will see the what is the average, mean if we will take the suppose whole matter, and you can see the matter is divided into three parts, that is solid, liquid and gases. Okay, and that solid part, you can say that if individual solid part can make it as a average molecular behavior, we have to check out what is the solid part is saying the analysis, means you have to do the analysis of only the solid part, next the liquid part, and only the gaseous part. Okay, in microscopic analysis, in this analysis the individual molecular behavior is taken into consideration, means in solid part you will see that there are small molecules of the solid particles present inside it, so you have to take in the smallest particles, means individual particular particle we have to take the consideration, we have to do the analysis over that which is taken into consideration. This approach is valid when the system becomes very rare, means the free path of the molecule is of the order of the system dimension, but in microscopic the approach, the mean free path of the molecule is gradually decreases the system dimension. The next two part is you have to know what is the gaseous and what is the liquid. The pressure in the gas is due to the forces occurring because of the colliding molecules with the surfaces, and its act normal to the surface. And pressure is the function of density and temperature, as you already know that, and density is directly proportional to the number of molecules colliding, and the colliding velocity is directly proportional to the temperature, that is CRMS is root over the 3RT by M. Here the liquid, that is the pressure in the liquid, is due to the repulsion between the molecules, and you always know that there will be something repulsion inside the between the molecules, that is called as where you will see that there is something pressure in the liquid. Similarly, there is another part is left over, that is thermodynamic equilibrium. In thermodynamic equilibrium, it depends the mostly three equilibrium, that is thermal equilibrium, that we will known as equality of temperature, means if you add all the temperature of the system, that must be equal to 1 without change with time, so it is known as equality of temperature. Similarly, mechanical equilibrium, you can show that any forces that is in that the forces can be kinematics, or that the forces can be statics, so that is equality of forces. Similarly, chemical equilibrium, it depends upon the chemical composition, should not be changed with the time. So these three equilibrium, if it is these three equilibrium, that is thermal or mechanical and chemical, and another one is a phase equilibrium. That phase equilibrium is that the mass of each phase should remains constant with the time. Then this all equilibrium, if it is in whole together, if we add all the equilibrium, that becomes the thermodynamic equilibrium. So inside the thermodynamic equilibrium, it must be thermal equilibrium, it must be mechanical equilibrium, it must be chemical equilibrium, and it must be phase equilibrium. Okay, then the next part is